Jah Rastafari. Can I say that? I don't have dreads or anything. Is it bad to say Jah Rastafari? Can't be bad, right? Jah Rastafari.
As long as you're not trashing it.
No, man, I mean it.
Yeah.
Right? There's a God inside us all.
How do?
There is a God inside us all, inside of each human being. And the plant sets it free. That's what I know for sure. Cannabis is not a drug. It is a food.
I thought that guy was coming up here.
Right? And Physician for the People is here to unleash the power of the physician within. Right? The self-healing property of life. The physician within. This is the plant's domain. And we're here to maximize the power of the healer within. Now, I'm not saying you need weed to be well, but I'm saying if you want to heal, you got to grow. You don't have to grow weed, but weed would help. There is no more blessed plant than cannabis. And if you want to be well, you want to take care of the weed within, the endocannabinoid system. Right? You can do this.
Hello.
This is what alternative complementary medicine has been doing all along. Right? Acupuncture resets the endocannabinoid system.
It does.
Right? It does. Manipulation.
I can swear to this guy's needles.
He swears all the time.
He puts needles where they belong and stuff happens.
Manipulation, chiropractors, osteopaths, same thing. It reboots the endocannabinoid system. It does.
I had a knee I couldn't straighten out, and I went to this guy, and he stuck me with some needles, and it took like 54 hours afterwards, because the practice it isn't like you.
No,
just
he's
shock.
mental.
You know,
he's not well, so I had to put needles in his face before I could get to the knee.
He's joshing on
No,
that point.
it's wrong.
He mostly worked the leg, but he also worked the extremities points and all that.
Bob.
I mean, this guy knows what the heck he's doing.
Bob, you had a leg you couldn't straighten out, and he.
Yeah.
What
yeah.
was it, like Viagra?
It's like
No,
Viagra leg.
I have a. What is it?
What these monkeys don't know is that the endocannabinoid system within is the good part of them. The part that's shattering, that's the human part. We really don't care about that. But the God within, that's the part that knows truth. You know truth. You do know truth.
I've stumbled on it a couple of times, and we've spoken, and it's like, see you later.
Right? Everyone who takes on the cannabis is taking on their healing in a police state. They're choosing to be illegally healed. These are the people I care about. Right? Who else would go chase their healing like this unless you were desperate and you knew it would make a difference? Right? You are the people that are now the mainstream. People need you to buy their products. Right? All of a sudden, cannabis is good for you, and we've been holding the bag all along.
Oh, holding the bag.
Oh, holding the bag.
Nice.
NFL won't let their players.
Oh, no.
No test for cannabis.
Players can't, and you know. Who wants? I mean, heaven forbid we get like 3 more years out of a football player because he's allowed to have weed.
Right? They test for it.
And he makes
Monroe.
3 years more salary. You know, that he can like do what the heck he wants to with afterwards. If
NFL will allow
if the
4
brain injuries
beer
don't take him down.
commercials a game. 4 beer commercials a game. But in Colorado, Washington State, cannabis legal states will not allow any cannabis-related ads. They don't want your ad money, but they want you to watch. And I'm telling you now, if you're watching the NFL on Thanksgiving, you're a fool. Right?
Ow.
You're a fool. Right? Because they've been laughing at you. They're taking your money.
Fool.
They're taking your
You're
money.
not buying enough
Right?
Budweiser.
They're putting your brothers and sisters in jail, and you're going to watch the games? No. No, we're not watching their games no more.
Can I bet on them?
Bud
I
Light.
don't want to hear about it no more.
Miller Lite. Beer that's barely there.
No more football. Stupid.
But I can still bet on them, though.
You can
bet all
bet
you
on
want.
them, sure. Well, you're working the long end, right? You got the house money.
That's what she said.
All right.
Cannabis truth begins now with you. You know who you are. You don't have to come out of the closet. You don't have to change anything. But imagine if you did. Imagine if everyone did all at once. What if all the cannabis consumers used all their money, right, and decided, you know what? Shut down the NFL. Shut down beer and alcohol sales. Treat everything like weed. Yeah.
But
Treat
you know,
beer like weed.
See,
Zero tolerance.
But the thing about it is,
None of it.
stoners tend not to be hostile enough to pull
I'm
that
hostile.
whole thing.
I got enough for you. I got enough to share. I'm the physician for the people, and we're going to make a difference because all of us, we know the truth. If you take on cannabis in your life, you know the truth in your gut. Say it. Speak it, Lexi.
I am angry, therefore I smoke. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Me too.
You know it.
Me too.
She knows
Calm
it.
down. You gotta smoke.
Definitely.
Lexi knows it. Lexi
Lexi knows.
molests my brain.
Hey, Lexi, you know it, right?
Smoke.
That's right.
Yeah.
Smoke.
It's good for
Yeah.
you.
Smoke.
Right? There's not a modern person that is working their ass off and wouldn't benefit from the weed. You know that. Cannabis is like that. We are living harder and faster than human beings were meant to. No. Look at hunter-gatherers. They work maybe 5 to 10 hours a week to meet their material needs. The rest of the time is for socializing, for being human. It's called being a human being, not a human doing.
Not a human doing.
No.
No.
Doc.
None of it.
Doc,
Nah.
just
Yes, sir?
wanted to remind you about one thing.
Yeah.
Remember how last week I said that 40,000 people died from alcohol consumption and 0 died from cannabis consumption.
Yeah.
But however,
Right.
the alcohol commercials are fine on the television, aren't they?
Right.
Oh, you betcha.
You notice how capitalism only really pays for stuff that sucks.
People mash into
Notice
each
that
other with
capitalism is
cars
the disease
because
that
both
linking
drivers
every
happen
one of
to
these
be
things, making them
coming
mad.
opposite directions
Yeah.
and both are inebriated
Yeah.
At high
That's wrong.
speeds.
at high speeds in the dark.
All right, now we're going to check and see where we go. Take us to the Chomsky. Yeah, take us to the Chomsky. Right? There's never been a medical reason. Never been a medical reason
Take us to the
criminalize marijuana.
bridge.
For criminalizing marijuana. Marijuana was criminalized because it was associated with dangerous classes, poor people. Marijuana was criminalized because it was associated with poor people, dangerous classes. First criminalization of marijuana was in the Southwest. It was in New Mexico, later Utah, and so on, and it was specifically targeted against Mexicans. Marijuana didn't get criminalized in the United States until shortly after Prohibition ended. After Prohibition ended, we had this huge bureau of narcotics and had to do something. So they discovered marijuana is going to do all kind of horrible things to you. The Senate testimony about this is mind-boggling. They did have a representative of the American Medical Association who said, we don't have any medical evidence about this. He was shut up, announced, rid of him right away. Then they found somebody else, a pharmacologist, a guy teaching at Temple University, who was doing experiments with marijuana in dogs. They brought this guy in. He testified that when he gave marijuana to dogs, they went insane. Marijuana to dogs, they went insane. They do all kind of things. Some senator asked him, the guy, well, have you ever tried marijuana on humans? So he said, yeah, I tried it on myself. And he said, well, what happened? He said, I turned into a vulture. I started flying around the room. My God, this stuff is terrible. It makes people insane. And marijuana, it was declared by Congress that marijuana makes people insane. But then something happened. It turned out that lawyers, defense lawyers, got the idea and used this for an insanity defense. So if a guy was found, who killed 3 cops, his lawyer would say, well, he had marijuana before, so he was insane, so he can't do anything. And people were getting off on charges, like cop killing, for example, on the claim that they had marijuana. So all of a sudden it was discovered that marijuana doesn't make you insane. Congress decided, sorry, it doesn't make you insane because we want to wipe that out. The next idea was marijuana is an entry drug. It's a drug you take and then you go on to something else. So there was never any evidence for that. But that was decided. And then in the early 50s, something else happened. Marijuana is being brought in here by red Chinese to poison the American population and destroy us. So therefore, we got to stop marijuana. And it kind of goes on like this. Actually, the peak of marijuana use was, as I said, in the 70s. But that was rich kids, so you don't throw them in jail. And then it got seriously criminalized. You really throw people in jail for it when it was poor people. There has never been a medical reason for criminalizing marijuana. Marijuana was criminalized because it was associated with poor people, dangerous classes.
Is that to an extraordinary extent, by comparative standards, the United States is a business-run society, which means that human rights are subordinated to the overwhelming, overriding need of profit for investors. Decisions are placed in the hands of unaccountable private tyrannies, which means that even if formal democratic practices exist as they do, peripheral significance. The government, in fact, is, as John Dewey called it 50 or 60 years ago, the shadow cast by business over society, so that modifications in the shadow are not going to change the substance. These are truisms throughout most of American history, including American working class history, until quite recently, until the 1950s, in fact. And it also means that social policy is geared to the transfer of wealth and power to those who already have it, and deliberately.
That skip is just spontaneously weird.
It's that kind of night. It's that kind of night, and it's been that kind of day all day.
Oh no.
It's the Friday after a Monday the 13th, man. There's a lot of huge juju on Monday the 13th. Do not joke about it. I had a truck wreck on a Monday the 13th, man. There's nothing more frightful. I almost crushed a sports car with a transformer off a truck. Scary stuff.
It's scary.
And it's like rolling like it's gonna hit me, and I'm just
shut
pulling
up, Bob.
this thing
Bob,
on a low-boy
Bob,
trailer.
no one cares, Bob. Shut up.
Monday the
Bob,
13th
shut
is
up.
serious juju.
Gino.
Whoa.
What do your people say? Is this country a business-run society, or is this a free country? What the
Nah,
fuck?
it's a business-run
Oh.
society.
How the
It's
fuck
no
is that-
free country.
So look
Well,
at-
and they're running their business on us all the time.
They
that
make-
trickle down
they- the
stuff.
way
I mean,
that-
it's
the way-
really gnarly and gooey.
The
and
way that this
not
country,
cool.
the way that this country runs business makes my family look like the
Yeah.
nah, shut up.
nothing.
Your
The
family.
family had finesse. The family had finesse. These people are just dumb. They are just dumb, and they don't care. They're just. It's the jock in high school, man. It's like the.
No, I'm not going there.
No,
No, don't
you
go
know
there.
the guy.
Don't
You
go
know
there.
the guy.
Don't go there. Look at all that is true.
He's a bully.
Look at all that is true, and as long as we stay in that field of distress, just like they want us to, they win, right? And that's why I let us go there for a moment so we can come back, right?
Where?
Go back to the chaos of the monkey mind of the world without cannabis,
Oh no, no,
right?
no.
Go to
no,
a
no,
world
no,
of fear
no.
and fight or flight. Live there for a little bit.
No weed world, no monkey live.
Right.
It's
Think
over.
of yourself
Forget about it.
as a pro player in a stadium game where you're not
Ooh.
allowed to have free speech.
A frickin' gladiator,
A
essentially.
Right? That's the idea.
A fiberglass armored gladiator, or Kevlar, or whatever the hell they're putting in the pads. But I mean, it's like these guys just throw themselves at each other, and it's like it's professional wrestling, it's ballet, it's collisions. It's people just smacking into each other. Like I don't know how much you've ever done of that. I played some football with people
Shut
in
up.
high
No
school.
one cares about football. We care
It
about the
hurts.
weed.
You can get messed up. Doctor.
I don't care. I don't care what you have
Heal.
to say. I don't care what you're saying anymore. Quiet you. Quiet. God, I love you, but you're talking too much. You're stepping all over my lines. Lexi,
Yeah, we roll.
how you doing?
I'm alright.
You're awesome, aren't you? You are. Thank you for putting.
She beams. She beams.
Listen,
She is our cosmic aspirator. She is putting her stuff out there and just smoothing the vibe.
I'm just high.
I'm gonna kill him.
That's all.
All
Well,
right, so-
but you know how to steer it. She knows how to distribute the force, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, and she's here, and we're really glad.
No, you're not. You're driving this into the ground. This is an awkward pause, and it's your fault. I want you to eat it. Feel it.
Me eat an awkward pause.
National level awkward pause. Eat it. It's yours.
Everything I do is awkward. What's supposed to be
Oh my
more
God.
sensational about a pause?
That's what I love about Bob. His graciousness upon
During
pressure.
the pause, you hit the blank.
In the end,
Yeah.
he's unflappable.
Well-
If you squish him, he actually is malleable. Right?
I am at Gumby.
Yeah, he is
Yeah,
the Gumby.
squish.
He is the Gumby of anger.
Stretch Armstrong.
Right? The God within him takes on the monkey form. You know the monkey? The Hounderman?
Yeah.
Right? The monkey is the ultimate servant. Even when he's jumping away from you, he's jumping towards you.
Yeah.
Right? Discerning
don't know
what
where
the
I'm
energy
coming
body
from.
says.
Anytime you think you know
Right.
where I'm coming from another place.
No, he's mental, but in a good way. Right?
Monkey.
Now, what does the God inside you say today? No, I've seen on Instagram a lot of people do the stop, glob, and puff, right?
Ooh.
I want to do something different. What would happen if we all stopped, got high, and focused on the things we loved?
They'd
all at
probably
once.
happen. They'd probably
What a
happen.
wonderful prayer that would
Everybody
be.
would be happy.
Yeah.
What would be in your heart,
Yeah.
right? What would you want if that high were real for everyone? I would want a world where all children were in charge, for real. Not that they had to be, but actually the laws and everything were made so children were actually in charge. Like, will there be any war? No, of course not. Right? You guys gonna fight it out yourselves, right? The kids wouldn't let shit like that happen. You'd have to make kids happy. Trump and King Jong-un, right? They'd have to put the kids to bed, right? That would keep Trump honest, right? If you had to put your kids to bed. Right?
Oh no
It's the
no!
kids.
It was all nanny stuff, man.
No, I
He
know.
just like
I'm
waves.
not- I'm not
you know,
getting away
hey,
from the kids.
Hey, how you
Right?
doing?
It's like that. What would
wanna
you
buy
want?
Want to buy a building?
I want a world where everyone's fed.
Hey,
I
I
get
want
rid
a
of the
world where
politicians.
food is free.
Yeah.
It's not that fucking hard. If you
Oh.
notice, food grows. Food grows. It's like
food
everywhere.
grows.
Food grows. Right? What would happen if I started growing food for you? All right.
Well, I'd be ordering like corn. Probably.
I want a world where there's a really good drive-through, no-meat burrito. For real.
no meat burrito.
I'm telling you, Burger King without the meat. Have you ever had the bean curd Whopper? It's good.
Bean curd.
I'm
good.
only but so brave.
No
man.
meat.
Yeah, I don't
fast
think
food
so.
could save this country.
I don't think I trust those people with that kind of stuff.
Now, what I trust is when people take on cannabis in Hinduism, cannabis use is associated with a simple lifestyle. Same thing with Rastafarianism.
Oh yeah.
Why is this true?
It's
because
the
it
sacrament.
activates the God within it. It doesn't allow you to do immoral things. It doesn't want to let you eat shitty food. Do you want to eat a murder burger? No, for real. Do you, now that you know, do you want
First,
to
you
take
have
your
to
high
kill
and put
the
it through
cow
a
with
murder
your bare
burger?
hands,
Right? Do you want to
so
absorb?
you know that you
Do
personally.
you want that? No, you don't. Take it to the Chomsky.
Moo.
Take it to the Chomsky.
Hit me.
Hit me.
And I'm hearing Elvis as a cow. Also.
Elvis is a cow.
moo.
Died on the fucking stool.
Clearly defined in the U.S. Code, U.S. Army Manual. It's defined as the resource to coercion or violence against civilian populations in order to achieve political, religious, or other ends. By that definition, it would be impossible not to accept that the United States is a terrorist state, in fact, a leading terrorist state. By that definition, by our own definition. In fact, we even have a name for it. It's called low-intensity warfare. And there's plenty of examples of it.
If we're serious about the question of terror, if we're serious about the question of violence, we have to recognize that
We're offering the world a stark choice. You're on our side or you're destroyed.
if we're serious about the question of terror, if we're serious about the question of violence, we have to recognize that
If there is a massive attack which will kill mostly Afghans, who millions of them are barely out to the edge of survival now, they will be answering the prayers of bin Laden and his network and falling into a diabolical trap if they decide to undertake a massive assault which will mostly slaughter innocent victims and victims of the Taliban.
if we're serious about the question of terror, if we're serious about the question of violence, we have to recognize that
Terrorism has a clear definition. It's clearly defined in the U.S. Code as the resource to coercion or violence against the civilian population in order to achieve political, religious, or other ends. By that definition, it would be impossible not to accept that the United States is a terrorist state, in fact, a leading terrorist state. By that definition, by our own definition. In fact, we even have a name for it. It's called low-intensity warfare.
if we're serious about the question of terror, if we're serious about the question of violence, we have to recognize that
We're offering the world a stark choice. You're on our side or you're destroyed.
if we're serious about the question of terror, if we're serious about the question of violence, we have to recognize that
That the United States is a terrorist state, in fact, one of the leading terrorist states. By that definition, by our own definition. In fact, we even have a name for it. It's called low-intensity warfare, which is a low-intensity conflict, which is actually official military doctrine. And there's plenty of examples of it.
apart from the horrible fate of the people involved, it will also lead to a threat to U.S. control of the world's oil supplies, which will never be tolerated. And at this point, we're off in indescribable global war.
Where's the next war at? Right? North Korea or Saudi Arabia? They're picking one
probably
right now.
both.
Yeah. Trump thinks big. He's gonna give us 2 wars at the same time.
Oh
You
yeah.
don't have to worry
Well,
about
I mean,
it.
he's 71 years old, man. He's got to put
Yeah.
on a big
Yeah, he's
show.
gotta blow
It's
up the
like,
world
this
quick.
Shot. This is shot right
It's his
now.
fucking shot right now.
Yeah,
2 wars.
Put on that war shit.
You gotta
Right.
figure it's going
2
in the
wars,
Middle
no
East.
waiting.
This is
Rock
Fuck
and
no.
roll.
Is this
Let's
mic
let's
on?
take all
Nah.
the kids and make them dance with the new toys.
Does anybody who puffs the cannabis, who takes the jaw, who actually wants war? Can I ask you that?
Oh no.
I've never met anyone who puffs who wants war.
Nope.
No, it's the healing of war. It is
Yeah.
not. That's why, again, we need to follow through on the repeal of cannabis.
Well,
it
see-
is the peace amendment.
Here's the thing, and it's kind of complex. It's like there
Oh,
are
don't
people.
be complex, you dick. Keep it simple for the people. Make it smart. If you got to make it complex, you're dumb. All right? I'm done with actually talking about how you're going to do it. I want conclusion.
Simplify
right now.
it. Simplify.
Simplify it.
Talk to the
Done.
Americans.
That's why it's Rom Thoreau. Simplify, simplify, simplify. No more
Well, yeah, if
complex.
we could organize the anarchists.
Rum.
we-
Rom.
Talk to the Americans.
That's what it is. Rom. And I tell you what.
And you
Right now,
anarchists
it is
also
wrong
over
what we've been
there-
putting up with as a community.
No.
I want to get the anger back. Weed is the one thing that takes you down in terms of I'm not angry anymore. No. Now's the time to push it through the finish line.
He ought to completely shave his head.
Right, I know, I'm mad. I'm sorry, Bob. I love you. I'm sorry about that, Bob.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But I'm telling
We,
you.
so we were cross talking on Trump. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Trump just gets me mad. Right, because the cannabis truth wants to come through. Right, the cannabis truth.
Cannabis
You know,
truth.
Cannabis truth.
You have a built-in lie detector. Your gut is fired up. It knows. I mean, it's like you generate an internal compass
Right.
with your connection to the plant.
Right. That's why the cannabis community
And,
will not go to war.
Plant plus E equals planet. So
Right.
I don't know.
That's why today
I
we're
don't
sharing
know.
the Blue Dream. Right? This is shared to me by a cultivar. Blue Dream, it is amazing sativa-based. Basically, it's one of the great skinny weeds. I don't know if you know this. All weed is really skinny weed. But Blue Dream is known, it's got probably a THCV mutation. Someone's going to have to do some tests to figure this out.
What does it do?
Well, it's known for being a good daytime up, help you go to work. If you go to Europe, the cannabis community there prefers cannabis that actually helps them get to work. Right? In America, the scene is much more dominated by the indicas
wish I had that
that
for
are grown
the last
indoors
7 years of
and
my
are
life.
supposed to take you down.
Endless supply.
Right?
See, I don't. I kind of disagree. I think it also has to do with your disposition. I doubt there's any weed that could make me happy to go to work.
Right. Exactly. Capitalism.
No.
There's no weed for capitalism. Right. That's called opium. That's called
I
heroin.
don't want to be a wage
That's
slave.
why there
It
is
just so
crack.
happens I've got myself in that
Right.
crap.
Right? That's why there is crack. It's for capitalism. Hyper-capitalism. Right? You want to like your job at fucking Costco? All right,
Oh,
got
Costco.
crack. Right? But if
You're
right,
gonna, hey, Costco shop stackers, you guys are gonna be outsourced to robots.
Right,
It's
sad but
coming,
true.
kids.
Sad but true.
It's like a bad
robots
comic
don't
book.
like
The
weed.
robots are coming.
No. Take on the weed and see how you can use the weed for barter. Who wants to trade for weed? I know I do.
Trade for weed.
Weed is better than money. Fuck, money will change tomorrow. Weed will always get you high. Right? Who is your community?
Weed will get you through times of no money much better than
Listen to
will
the grumpy
get you through
hippie.
times of
Hey,
no
instead of
weed.
Right? That shit's true.
Instead of Bitcoin, you have Litcoin, right?
Litcoin.
Litcoin.
Oh man! Bing, 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 bing,
Money
bing,
can
bing.
suck my cock too.
Litcoin.
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 All right, so then we put that on the
my
list of
God,
cannabis
man.
business. Duber, my weed B&B,
Duber.
right, and my Litcoin.
Going for a ride. We're going for a ride
We're
with
going for a
Mary
ride.
Jane.
Right, and I'm not giving any money back to the man. Right, Massachusetts, where I
No.
grew up, I'll tell you this.
Hey man.
Only people
no,
who opened up
you
medical
don't get
dispensaries
any.
were the cops.
Uh-oh.
Attorney General Delahunt.
Not the
right?
man.
Half the medical weed sold in Massachusetts, half that money goes into this man's pocket as a consulting fee. Look it up.
Nice. That's
Right?
the way to write
Now-
a contract, baby.
Exactly. Same thing in Maryland. Why do you think there's no
Gee
legal
whiz.
medical weed in Maryland? Who's
People
been in
will
charge of
do
the fucking
any
program
damn
but
thing.
cops? Right? Listen, I'm not sitting in line for this shit anymore. It's a right. It is a right.
It's a sacrament.
Look around.
It's a plant.
Look around. It's a plant. That's right, Lexi. Lexi's going to be bringing her grow technology to the show next week.
It is the plant.
Right? She's going to be talking to growers.
It's the master plant.
Listen, if you want to heal, you got to grow. I'm not pleading with you. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. I was listening to a
Is
commercial
there
today.
currently a strain called Master Blaster?
No, but your strain would be Master Debater.
Oh, no.
That was a Stevie Wonder song, Master
Come
Blaster.
on.
Oh.
But Master Blaster was a character in like the third Mad Max movie with Mel Gibson.
I see.
And who's... You should know who
He's such a nut.
who the lady in the cage was. What's love got to do with it?
I don't remember her name.
Isn't that amazing? Like
Tina
it's hanging
Turner?
here.
Tina Turner?
Tina Turner.
Tina Turner.
Nikki is banging tonight, man. He is.
No,
like,
no,
I'm
that's-
teeing
that'll
him
be
up and
later.
he's
That'll
hitting
be
him out of the
later.
That'll be
park.
later.
Out of the
Right.
park. Way
One
to
of the things
go,
we're
Nikki.
bringing to the show is sharing free seeds.
Tina Turner.
Not only are we sharing free seeds, we're sharing the knowledge of how to grow them. We're talking to different growers. We're talking to
But
taking
there
your
should be a
pictures.
strain called Master
Send your
Blaster.
pictures to Lexi, right? And what we're going to do is basically you're going to be able to, what's this mean? What does this leaf curl mean?
Maybe it's got a
And we'll be able to
laxative
share it with
quality.
different growers and get you answers, right? We know you can't move your plants, but we can take pictures of them and share those pictures here, right? Information is free, and that will set us free. And we'll take it to the Chomsky.
Take
Because
it.
Chomsky's going
to
right
the
here, going where I want to go.
Who's paying? Well, the poor people are paying. Who's paying? Well, the poor people are paying. I would be very cautious about giving rich people special benefits so their kids can go to school, benefits of one kind or another, to people of income levels, $80,000, $100,000 a year. But I think the median income in the United States is something like around 30-some. Who's paying? Well, the poor people are paying. Who's paying? Well, the poor people are paying. Who's paying? Well, the poor people are paying. I would be very cautious about rich people. The big investment firms are now distributing brochures to their rich customers, telling them, look, we've taken over the health system, we've taken over the criminal system, we're right now taking over the welfare system. Here's a new way to enrich ourselves at public expense. The way we will do it is by setting up EMOs, Educational Management Organizations, which will do wonders for the educational system like HMOs do for healthcare. EMOs like HMOs for healthcare. Namely, they will be able to take more and more money away from the system and put it in private power, meanwhile shaping care so that it mostly benefits the rich, making sure that the really rich people get everything and harms everybody else. And now we can do it to the educational system, the last big government novel. It's not put this way, it's all put in terms of efficiency and what nice people we are, and we're going to make everything much better for everyone, because we're just benefactors and so on. But go through it, and that's what it is. I would be very cautious about making sure that the rich people get everything. Who's paying? Well, the poor people are paying. Who's paying? Well, the poor people are paying. Who's paying? Well, the poor people are paying.
Yeah, who is paying? The people always pay, and the physician for the people is here for the people, right? The wellness of the people is the wellness of the nation, right? And only from this wellness can we be whole. Right?
Yeah.
I have a vision, and that vision is my kids get to be happy. What about yours? I bet you love your
I
kids
chose
too.
not to have a kid because if it was my kid, it'd probably be unhappy.
Right, that's true. I like that about Bob. He says, you know what?
That's
I'm
the
out of the
truth
gene
coming
pool.
out.
Oh man, no, I knew that. I
That's
I
good.
don't have any patience for the
I like
modern
that about
child.
the grumpy
I
hippies.
don't.
Fuck,
There-
they're not going
there's
to
so
reproduce.
much
Some of them,
restriction.
they're out. But me, I'm in. Right? And the people who are in, I know you love your kids too. Right? Now, just because
I
just
love other
because
people's
people have
kids
stress in their lives
because
doesn't
they're
mean we're
other
gonna break
people's
down.
kids.
Right? And we got the remedy for that. We got the remedy for that. Right? What's the difference between distress and stress? It's what's going on in your heart. And cannabis is the cure for that. I'm telling you. Meditate on the truth, and it comes true. Now, we want to go into that for a second. What would I do if I had $10,000 extra? Lexi, what would you do if I had 10 grand for you right now?
I might buy one of those abandoned warehouses.
Say again. Tell me again.
I might buy one of those abandoned warehouses in the city, and
Okay.
then turn it into a giant grow house.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
Then we could use the entire plant from root to tip, for literally everything.
Purses made out of hemp.
What would you do?
Really nice handmade purses made out of
I'm
hemp.
sorry, but I probably have to put extra money on the games this weekend. But that's just me.
Right. Lexi, in your
Come
grow
up with a
in your
game,
grow
though.
business, what would you do that's not being done yet? I know you got something insight about the root.
The
What
root.
aren't we doing with the root with cannabis that we don't know yet?
Well, some people use them to make teas, kind of like you use turmeric or some other teas like herbs like that,
Right.
to make teas, and they help with pain and digestion
I
and
expect.
things like that.
Yep,
Right.
Yep. Yep.
More
Lower
uses.
blood pressure.
That's one
Blood
thing
pressure?
I'm
I
down
don't
with that.
know that at all.
Right. How many people do you know with blood pressure issues? Right.
Several.
lot.
We're
It's- and
programmed
they
to
all
have
use it.
blood pressure issues because they can make money off of that.
What if we're
Well,
talking
now
about the
we
cure
have
to
a way
blood
to
pressure
heal
right here?
ourselves.
Yeah, the repeal of prohibition isn't about the repeal of some recreational drug. Like, I get to fuck off and shoot up in the bathroom. Right?
No.
There's nothing recreational cannabis. All use of cannabis is medicinal. Right? From the root
Oh yeah, absolutely,
to the
absolutely,
tip,
absolutely.
It's medicinal.
It's therapeutic, kids. That's
It is the exception to the drug because the body actually makes the receptors. That's
it's
what I'm
medicinal.
talking about. It's the body eats it like a food. Not
Well, yeah,
even
actually,
alcohol.
yeah, it's more like nutrition.
Yeah.
It's more like nutrition
It is
because
nutritional.
it plugs into receptors that need to be plugged into.
Hey,
Right.
not only is it medicinal, but it also heals you.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, like that.
yeah.
Right? And that's
No,
what's
and
going
no,
on.
and that's an. He's being funny, but it's a serious
Serious
distinction.
true. Right,
It's a serious distinction.
Serious distinction. Listen, the man, the boss, listen, the doctors, they know what they're doing. They put a police state and they took the natural medicine away from the people 100
Oh
years
yeah,
ago.
yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
did
yeah,
this on
yeah,
purpose.
yeah.
Don't fuck around. Not by accident.
Oh, that's voodoo medicine.
They
That's voodoo
made the
medicine. No,
people
you can't
pay
have
and
that.
pay
You have to
again.
have some of this shit that these guys in lab
The
coats have
people
been
will
messing
not
with
be
for
well.
10 years.
Hey, Doc.
No way.
I'm telling you, read
I've
the
met
tea
these
leaves,
guys in the
motherfucker.
lab coats. They're scary, man.
No, no, no,
They're
no, 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 no.
Scary.
Who do you work for? You work for Cannabis Truth.
Cannabis
You
truth.
do. You get high and you work for your truth. You're finding your way with the breadcrumbs through the maze, but you are finding your truth. That's what's happening. You could not be here today if you did not find your cannabis truth.
Cannabis
What
truth.
do you need? You are the leaders. What do you need? Right? My first project, how can we get the cannabis community educated about getting them wealthy? Right? Making them the leaders. Right? Getting them the information by networking. All the geniuses who've been taking natural Ritalin all these years. You know how many people I went to college with? Fucking closet weed smokers, oncologists. Right? High-end fucking frat brothers. Can you give me some weed, dude? Do you know they're afraid to even look up the endocannabinoid system on their browser because fucking Stanford owns their computer? Okay? Brilliant people living in a police state. The cannabis community actually is way ahead than the doctors. That's why I'm here. Because as a physician, I was fucking, oh, no, that shit's bad for you. Right? In the background, I'm doing it myself to control my shit. Right? The fuck? Right? We're
Right.
all being cowed, and I'm the first to admit it. Right? I want to be uncowed. What does that look like? Bob's uncowed, but he's fucking unhinged as well. Right? He's not
yeah,
helping.
and that's not the fault of the weed. I
Not the-
was unhinged
right?
way
No.
ahead of that.
I asked Lexi to come along. She's sort of like, well, right? Still, I'm asking you, how do we get it together? The healing of community, the paradox of it is I cannot create community. Think about it. It doesn't happen. You just can't, poof, community. No. Community is a beautiful thing that has to be woken up to. The latent threads are already there with us. I use the metaphor of the kids because it's true. Right? I love my kids. You love your kids. If we talk to each other, we may not have anything in common. We talk about our kids, all of a sudden, boom, we've got kid community. Our kids go to school together. Our kids play together. We've got community. Right? That's what we're looking for. The cannabis community. We have
the whole
community
weed in our hands.
that is, in fact, the savior of the next generation. Think
That's okay.
about
Just-
it.
Just let them
They
see
need
what can
us.
happen. Just let them see what can happen.
Well,
It's
see,
all right.
I think they're seriously afraid of that happening.
Right. They're afraid of our power.
We
It's
should do that. We should scare them out
well,
of their
and
sleep.
on the way in tonight, you were talking about this cosmic alignment that's supposed to happen like next May or so. That one theory is that all the weirdness we're experiencing, and we're experiencing just record levels of weirdness. This planet has never seen such stupidity in this much concentration in this short amount of time.
Yeah, but that's
everybody is freaking bananas.
That's all
and the
planned,
reason
though.
everybody's bananas is because there's this cosmic shit going around. I mean,
The stupidity
Earth is
planned.
like a little marble in all this shit that's swirling around out there. And there's cosmic juice like nobody understands. And we're just like wishing through this stuff, and we're just coming up over the ecliptic. All the lights coming on. And
Right.
it's gonna get weirder.
Well, that's why we invited the hippie.
Are UFOs coming?
Yeah. What's the hippie say?
If they're bringing
We
weed,
will probably understand things about multidimensional travel
That's true.
weed.
that we do not now.
That's true.
There's probably a whole planet out there where it's covered in marijuana, and
Yeah,
they
what-
look at us like we're ridiculous. Why don't they just use
Yeah.
marijuana? They're using it. That's funny.
Ja Earth.
Ja Earth.
Ja Earth.
Maybe that's what takes them to the other dimension.
That is exactly
I
what
want to
takes
I
you
want to
there.
go Ja Earth. And, well, and
You want me to go
I
Star
believe,
Child?
and we all have
I'll tell you.
simulacrums on all of these other different
This-
dimensions. Like
When the
there's,
Avatar says the kingdom of
watch
God
Rick
is
and Morty,
within, what do you
guys.
think they're describing?
it's basically what I'm experiencing.
No,
in
no,
my
no.
life. I wake up in
When
different
they describe
things,
the
and
kingdom
it's
of
like,
God, what is that?
Watch Rick and
That is, in fact, the endocannabinoid system.
I love that.
Jesus healed cannabism, which is the concentrate of the cannabis plant. This is actually, if you look it up, was mistranslated, King James, from cannabis to calamus, which is in your
Ooh.
herbal ecstasies. Actually,
How
Jesus
ironic,
used
but
the
I bet you
anointing
could
oil.
sell a
Every time
ton
he
of
showed
them.
up, this fucking hippie, he used oil too, along with his faith
Handmade
healing.
hemp.
Right?
Bible
This is
cover.
strong weed. Look it up. Basically, you're boiling down 100 plants in olive oil, and you dab this in a person's third eye. It will wake them to shit up.
Olive oil.
Dab, 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 dab,
Olive
dab,
oil,
dab, dab, dab.
a little weed. You
And
put
a
a little
little
son of God,
linguine.
boom, you got a
Hey.
healing. Right? No question, when they're talking about the kingdom of God is within, they're talking about the healer within is the endocannabinoid system. Now, are you going to take care of the God within, or are you going to treat it like it's under in a concentration camp? It's okay. Take it, Jay. That's the way you turn people into automata, right? They're trying to turn us into automata.
Well, yeah,
robots.
if you can program the
Right.
stuff that's going into people and work their neurology to where you like it to be as an employer or as a cattle farmer. I mean, they put people in offices and they may as well be in stalls, right?
Right,
I
right.
mean,
Veal pens.
just put some straw down and, just you don't even have to go to the
Cube
restroom.
farms,
You just shit
cube
in the corner.
farms.
That's
but,
right.
But keep pushing those buttons, man.
If you can get to that point, then you really have people under control. You don't need security forces. I mean, we have a tremendous amount of privilege and freedom, just incomparable. There's nothing in the world like it. The question is, do we want to use it? I mean, they can act to a certain extent. They cannot counteract organized, active public opinion. I mean, you can't even do that in a dictatorship. That's almost impossible in a more free society. That's why there's so much propaganda, to try to prevent people from using the power that they have, either by marginalizing them or isolating them or making them passive consumers or making them feel hopeless or whatever. A huge amount of effort goes into that. Probably $1 trillion a year goes into marketing, which is mostly just attitude control. Try to make people passive consumers who don't do anything. But they don't have to agree to that. You can change it. First of all, it's all reversible. I mean, the means of controlling people by violence have mostly disappeared in countries like the United States. In fact, if you look at the history of propaganda, it was developing precisely out of a very conscious understanding on the part of privileged sectors, elites, that they were losing the capacity to control the population by force. Just people had won too much freedom. They wouldn't submit to force, couldn't do it. So therefore you had to control attitudes and opinions. And the way you do that is in part by indoctrination and the school system and the news and that sort of thing. But in large part, the way of controlling opinions and attitudes was understood right away to be inducing hopelessness, making people feel helpless, and isolated, separate from one another, make sure they don't interact. Unlike the ideal society would be based on dyads, you and the two, but no further interaction among people, because that's danger. And a lot of what's been going on over the last century, and is going on right at this moment, is about that, because it is understood that things like Medicare, Social Security, schools, other such things are based on an unacceptable principle that has to be driven out of people's minds. It's the principle that you're supposed to care about somebody else, okay? That you're supposed to care as a member of a democratic community. You're supposed to care whether the widow on the other side of town starves. And you've got to drive that out of people's heads, because if people have those ideas, they might act on them. And if they act on them, they're going to dismantle the whole system of domination and control. So those ideas have to be driven out of people's heads. They have to be made to believe that their entire worth depends on their own consumption of useless commodities. I mean, that's the way you turn people into automata. You control them, separate them from one another, drive any human instinct out of their heads, make them see themselves as nothing in life except adding to my useless commodity, and I don't care about anybody else because you're not supposed to care. If you can get to that point, then you really have people under control. You don't need security forces. And that has been a major effort for the past century. It gets more and more sophisticated, more and more money goes into it all the time. Those are techniques of control, but you don't have to submit to them. They're very fragile systems. I mean, if people are unwilling to submit to them, they just go away. It's not like the security forces in a totalitarian state who don't go away. They go away. They persist only because people subordinate themselves to them, which means that there's a lot of opportunity and hope for change, but it's all reversible.
I want to talk to you about the little voice in your head. Right? The little voice.
Just one?
Yeah, the one that just says, what? Who, me? What little voice?
Who has just one?
Right? When does that little voice go away?
It's like Lay's potato chips.
When you're high.
Actually, the multitude of them tend to sing harmonically when
but they go
properly
away when you're high
and treated.
Right? That's what we're talking about. The euphoria, the monkey mind goes away when you're high. Right? That's why we want to talk about
it goes home.
It goes home.
Calm.
That's right.
That's all.
I want to talk about the flow
Fair.
when you're high.
Monkey
What is
go
that?
home.
Everyone has one. Now we're going to talk what that is. That's when the God within is released. That's what that is. That's what meditation is. When freedom reigns. When was you free? Tell us. I want you to be free again right now. Because it's prayer.
Well, and for some people, it's the flow.
It's the flow.
A lot of times, I end up staring at the ceiling.
Right? That's as far as he goes.
Oh, my God.
You didn't see that one laying there.
I know,
You go
right?
there, I can't believe you went
Some
there.
people hit the flow when they play
And
the
you've known
instrument.
me for how long?
Right? Some people hear the flow when they hear an instrument.
You should expect it.
Everybody has the flow.
You're talking, Doc, are you a urologist or a...
I'm Greek. I can go either way.
Jeez.
Right? Proctology,
Now, if
urology,
I said that,
gynecology.
you'd
Oh, I tell you,
be
shut the
jumping
fuck
up
up.
and down on my chest.
Rectomology.
Rectomology, rectamol.
Rectum.
Why the
I
little
barely,
Greek
I
boy
barely
leave
know
home?
him.
He didn't like it when he's being weird. No, that's wrong. Why do you go back?
The way we were
No.
reared when we were young.
You didn't want to be
Oh,
left
my
behind.
God.
No.
I don't want to talk about that.
Right? Humor is flow. Right? Whenever I find my flow in the weirdest places, I grew up in my dad's restaurant, right?
And-
So
and-
taking care
and
of people
flow
being
can
in
help you
chaos
get insurance.
It's flow. I like it.
In
Right? It's
coveralls,
fucking
white
weird.
coveralls. It's like a Masonic thing. Is that
Right.
not? Are the coveralls not a Masonic
Bob's my
thing?
friend. That's weird. Right?
So is
Oh,
it
yeah.
Masonic car insurance? Is this the Illuminati? That's where they buy their stuff?
Oh,
And of course they've got a lizard. They've also got a lizard associated with the insurance. So it's like, and a duck.
right.
Jim Morrison? Jim Morrison?
That's right.
The lizard?
Where do you find your flow? That's what I want to know, and I want you to do it more and more. The more you can keep the silence, the joy of the high.
Well, you
Right.
know what
This
that
is what we
duck
wanna
says
build.
when he sees the plumber working on a sink.
Now,
Ass
how do we get higher? We're talking about diet. I want to talk about the endocannabinoid deficiency syndrome, right? A lot of people, when they get that endocannabinoid tolerance, we got to go back to the science. How do you get higher? Because it's not happening. How can you take on cannabis and not get euphoria? Right?
Euphoria, me for you, all of us for you.
Right.
All for one.
Because the endocannabinoid
And that
system has
one-
become fatigued.
grows in the ground naturally.
Right. We have to look at it. When you take too much of one
You
nutrient,
you have to beat it with a stick to make it not grow. I mean, this stuff is just
Bob, I'll beat you with the fucking stick. You step on my line one more time, I'll take my fucking shoe off.
Okay.
Oh my
Oh
fuck.
my God, we're going
Oh,
The shoe
Iraqi
up, it's
again.
coming the
Go
shoe.
back to the Iraqi shoe.
We're going
We're
Iraqi.
having a
I'm
really
going
big
Bush.
shoe.
I'm going Bush al-Maliki with this
Next
guy.
on our stage.
Next on our stage.
A really big shoe.
Shoe. God, I love you, but God, I hate
Just
you
literally.
sometimes.
Just a
Sometimes
shoe.
I really
and
hate you sometimes.
there'll just be a one shot on
No.
a shoe for 5 minutes.
I was about to
5
say
minutes.
something.
No music.
I forget
nothing.
what it was now.
One light. One light. A really big shoe.
Right, meditation. It's not what you think it is.
No.
No.
It's like meditation is focusing your mind. You can be in a fully meditative state with your eyes wide open. I mean, that can be your natural experience if you have the right kind of herbal tweakage.
He's got
You can actually, 20 or 30 years of concentrating like that, and you can do that. But if you enhance it, if you add the sacrament, you can get there. And you just understand stuff. You just do. And people understand each other.
right. Fire will not burn fire.
The
The
planet.
knife will not cut a knife.
The potential realignment for the planet is absolutely astronomical, just in terms of. But also, you're dealing with people who don't want to be free. There are those, they want their minds to be
Shut
part
up,
of that.
Bob.
They want to be in the Matrix. They want to be in the Matrix. There's something wrong with them, but they want to be in the Matrix, man. They like playing with the guys with the sunglasses. Oh, my life is so gloomy, and I'm getting beat up, and
Dude, I'm
I
not
better
going to invite
take
you
more
back.
speed.
I'm not going to invite you back. Stop it. It's embarrassing. I'm going to let it all right here. Right on the internet. Let everyone say. Let everyone say it. I'm mean. Shaming. Embarrassing. My wife is watching going right now, oh my God.
Tamra, how you
Don't use
doing?
real names. Idiot. Oh, you're in so fucking trouble.
Camera.
Oh my
Camera. That's what I was saying.
Wow.
So bad. But again, where's the flow?
The flow.
I love fucking chaos. I thrive on it. I really do. It's all right
That's
with me.
why I'm here.
When I see things fucking fly apart, I know the truth is going to come out eventually. I don't know when and where. I know it's going to be uncomfortable. Right? But out of that comes...
People
what do you
should
want?
get used to chaos because there's going to be a period of it. I mean, serious chaos. We seem to be experiencing it now.
Beginning.
It's going to get exponential and it's going to get weird.
Yeah, go to Chomsky.
I have been discussing some of the means of thought control and the reasons why these measures gain such prominence in democratic systems in which the general population cannot be driven from the political arena by force. The discussion may leave the impression that the system is all-powerful, but that is very far from true. People have significant capacities to resist, and sometimes do, with great effect.
Fact is that to an extraordinary extent, by comparative standards, the United States is a business-run society, which means that human rights are subordinated to the overwhelming, overriding need of profit for investors. Decisions are placed in the hands of unaccountable private tyrannies, which means that even if formal democratic practices exist as they do, They're of peripheral.
I want to thank everyone, really, for loving us, for putting us in your heart, putting us in your ears, putting us in your minds, right? We are sharing and beginning something new. I want to introduce also our friend, right? He's going to bring us now, Sir, share with us what we learned today. Tell us, Mr. Be Real. Tell us, Mr. True Story.
What did I learn today?
What did we learn today?
What did you learn?
What did we learn?
Nah, you know what? Nah,
Tell me.
Nah, I'm gonna break the rules. I'm gonna teach y'all something today. What did you learn today? Live life.
God.
Live life. That's what y'all need to learn today. I'm good. I ain't learned shit today, man.
Well, you learned enough to tell us that.
We
I'm
learned.
just fine.
Right,
Y'all need
he
to
is
go
just
live
fine.
life. You
That's
just-
what. If one thing I dig
Fuck
that.
y'all. Go live y'all life.
That's right.
Live your
you
life.
dig that all is well. It's one of the things about the truth.
Don't be like figured on
No, the
retirement.
God within
Don't figure
knows
on
you
re-
are meant to be here. There's nothing wrong with anyone.
I'm retired. So
Go out and love
I figured
everyone,
on-
love yourself. There is nothing really wrong with anything. That's the shit of the mind.
Hey, he retired. He chose to live life in this
Right.
terrible fashion.
That's right.
Right.
Hey,
The
True
high
Story,
is more
come to
real
take
than you
over
think it
y'all
is.
show, everybody.
So go be high. Go
It's
be
me and
real.
Lexi. Everybody, why is Lexi's eyes so red? Nobody.
Because Lexi is a
Not
force of
once did I hear
nature.
anybody say, hey,
She
Lexi,
is a
girl,
personification
your
of the
eyes
plan.
super red, girl. What did you
That is
smoke?
why she's here.
You guys, and these are the doctors. I'm the aspiring rapper. These are the doctors. They totally
What we-
missed the
what-
doctor.
No, he's just a doctor. I'm
we
I'm
learned-
Dr. Mina's teacher.
I'm color and he's
What
no.
we
I'm play by
learned
play and
is
he's
when-
color, and
is
sometimes we
when Doc,
switch.
When Doc is talking, we ain't supposed to be talking.
Yeah.
I like chaos. If there's anything I learned,
Yeah.
that man likes chaos.
Right. I
Hey,
love you all.
actually, hey, I
The
did
people
learn
in the
something
audience,
today,
if there's anybody who
America.
wants the Blue Dream
That man
Seeds, they're here
loves
for y'all.
some
Ask me.
chaos.
We out. Thank you very much. Cheery day.